Our story does not begin in a Silicon Valley or a neon-lit arcade. It begins in the quiet, historic streets of Kyoto, Japan. The year is 1889. A craftsman named Fusajiro Yamauchi opens a small shop. He is making Hanafuda, traditional Japanese playing cards, hand-painted with flowers and seasons. They are beautiful, but they carry a shadow. Because these cards are used for gambling, they attract the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia. For decades, Nintendo is not a family brand. It is a name whispered in smoky backrooms, associated with risk and the underworld. Fusajiro retires with no sons. The company passes to his son-in-law, and then to his great-grandson, a young, stern man named Hiroshi Yamauchi. Hiroshi takes the helm in 1949. He is ambitious, but he faces a massive wall. Playing cards have a ceiling. You can only sell so many decks. Nintendo tries to escape this box. They fail spectacularly. They start a taxi company. They run a love hotel chain. They sell instant rice. They even make a vacuum cleaner called the Chiritori. Nothing sticks. The company is drifting. They are a toy company in a post-war economy that doesn't prioritize play. They are small, niche, and struggling to find a soul. Then, in the 1970s, a spark. An engineer named Gunpei Yokoi sees a businessman playing with a calculator on a train. He has an idea. What if that calculator was a toy? This leads to the Ultra Hand, a success. But the real revolution is coming. The world is discovering video games. Nintendo dips a toe in with the color TV game. But the true turning point is 1980. The Game & Watch, a single game on a pocket screen. It saves the company from financial ruin. But then, disaster strikes the entire world.
It is 1983. The video game industry in America has collapsed. Stores are filled with unsold cartridges. Retailers swear never to sell video games again. They call it a fad. They call it dead. Nintendo wants to enter America with the Famicom, but the retailers say no. Hiroshi Yamauchi makes a gamble. He redesigns the console to look like a VCR, not a toy. He creates a robot, ROB, to convince stores that this is high-tech, not a video game. He launches the Nintendo Entertainment System, and with it, he introduces a carpenter turned plumber who jumped for coins. Mario. Super Mario Bros. Doesn't just sell, it resurrects an entire industry. Nintendo goes from a struggling Kyoto card shop to the absolute ruler of the gaming world. They have 90% of the market. They are untouchable.
But hubris is a dangerous thing. The 1990s arrive. Sega attacks with cool. Sony enters the arena with 3D graphics and CD-ROMs. Nintendo, stubborn and proud, sticks to cartridges. They alienate their developers. Square Enix leaves them for Sony. The Nintendo 64 is a masterpiece, but it loses the war. Then comes the GameCube, a purple lunchbox that plays mini DVDs. It's a critical success, but a commercial failure. The stock price plummets. The critics say Nintendo is a children's company. They say they are obsolete. They say they will go the way of Atari. They try the Virtual Boy. It gives people headaches. It fails in months. For a decade, Nintendo is the underdog. They are the little brother watching Sony and Microsoft fight over who has the most powerful graphics. Nintendo is bleeding. They need a miracle.
Enter Satoru Iwata, a programmer who became president. He looks at the battlefield and realizes Nintendo cannot win a war of power. They don't have the money. So he changes the battlefield. He asks, why must games be complex? Why can't my mother play? In 2006, they launch the Wii. It doesn't have high definition. It looks like a router, but it has motion control. You swing the controller like a tennis racket. You point it like a gun. Grandmothers play bowling. Children dance. The Wii becomes a cultural phenomenon. It sells 100 million units. Nintendo is back on top. They proved that fun matters more than power. But the cycle continues. They follow the Wii with the Wii U. It is confusing. People think the controller is just an accessory for the Wii. It flops hard. Nintendo loses money for the first time in decades. The vultures circle again. They say, stick to making apps for phones. Leave the hardware to Sony.
Satoru Iwata passes away in 2015. The company is in mourning, but his spirit guides the next move. The engineers ask a simple question: why do I have to choose between playing at home and playing on the bus? They create the Switch, a tablet that docks into a TV. It is risky. The hardware is weak compared to the PlayStation 4. The critics are skeptical. Then, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild launches with it. The world stops. The reviews are perfect. The concept clicks instantly. Parents buy it for kids. Adults buy it for themselves. It bridges the gap.
And now, look at them. Nintendo is no longer just surviving, they are thriving. The Switch is one of the best-selling consoles in history, rivaling the PS2. They own the most valuable intellectual property in the world: Mario, Pokémon, Zelda. They are not the most powerful machine. They are not the cheapest, but they are the most magical. From the hand-painted cards of 1889 to the hybrid screens of today, the journey has been a roller coaster of near bankruptcy, industry crashes, and fierce rivalries. They stumbled when they got arrogant. They soared when they remembered to play. Today, Nintendo stands as a testament to a simple idea. Technology changes, graphics fade, but the joy of play, that is eternal.